Oh, you're filming this
Mm-hmm.
or video? So next thing you do, drop your lidocaine. Just take a 3cc syringe. I just use the 18 gauge needle there. I think it's 18, whatever it is. Maybe it's less than that. Just break it. Yeah, I just dump all my pieces right there. Drop your... This does not need to be in a filter syringe because it's going to be in the skin. Okay, so you don't need to like use this filter needle. I'll just put these over here. This will be for the skin. You don't use this 18 for the skin. You use this very small blue needle. This, I think it's a 22 gauge. Maybe that's 20 and that's an 18, or a 22 rather. This is going to be your lost syringe. This is not the syringe you'll typically use. You'll typically use something like this. There will be a blue one actually in the kit that'll already be inside of this kit. So with this, you just take a filter needle, put it on here, you open up your normal saline vial, just keep your sharps together, okay? Draw up your saline best you can. Draw up about, I don't know, 5-6 cc's, that's enough. Okay, just keep those together. Put your lost syringe right there, and the next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw up your test dose with this big syringe, okay? You're going to use this 1.5% lidocaine with Epi. Check the expiration date, you know, February 2016, it looks fine. Crack these open. This you'll give 3 cc's in the epidural space. You don't give the full 5 usually. Okay. So you just put your filter needle right there. Now this, before you knock out all the air out of that, you can hook it up to the filter, and then you can just filter it through like this until it comes out, and you'll do it till it's 3 cc's right there, and that's what you'll inject into the patient. So you've got all your stuff ready to inject. And actually perform the procedure ready. So you'll take out your numbing medication, you stick the patient, it's your patient, you stick them with a little wheel, whatever. Okay, it's good and numb. On the skin, you go in, deposit, pull back, redirect, deposit all your local in the skin. Then you take your needle, your TUI needle, and you hold it with the point up, bevel up. And I hold it like this, so I have very good control. And you just put it right through your numb spot on the skin, and you just drive forward at least 3 centimeters in, okay? Until you feel a little bit of resistance, like it's starting to catch, and then you just sort of, you know, test to see that you're engaged. Pull the little stylet out, then you hook up your lost syringe up to this. You just bounce, bounce, bounce. Or if you're doing continuous, you hold continuous pressure on the syringe while you slowly advance. You're holding pressure on the syringe while you're advancing. Now when you get loss, it's going to be abrupt. You're going to feel like the tick, 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 tick going through the sand when you're going through the ligamentum flavum. That's going to be the feeling you're going to perceive. And when you get lost, it's going to just go, real easy, like that. Okay, and that's what you want. And then you just disconnect while you're stable, and you thread your catheter that you would have already had opened through there. And then your depth that you had lost. This is a 9 centimeter toggle, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Say if you have 2.5 showing, that means you're 6.5 deep. So you put 6.5 for your depth into the space, plus 5 centimeters, and that's where you're going to secure it at on the skin. Okay, so it'll be secured at 11.5. Alright, so that's pretty much the kit. And then, whenever you have the catheter in the patient's back, you'll have already threaded it through the TUI, this little blue tip. This is going to go in the patient. That little tip's going to go in there, and this blue thing's just a guide. You just thread it into the patient until you get to about 20 or so, Then you hold this catheter stable and you pull the needle out. See how I'm holding the catheter still, but I'm pulling the needle back until you get enough of this catheter that's out of the patient's back, and then you pull it like this. You coil it so you don't lose control of the tip and you don't contaminate as you're coming out. Okay, so you control the tip at all times. Now this other end here will be inside of the patient. Alright, you'll have a locket, which I actually don't have hooked up, but you'll thread this tip through the locket, and then the locket will slide. No, the locket's not there. The locket's in another little kit. This is the locket. This will thread through this back part of this locket. It'll come out this side. Slide it down a little bit, and before you secure it, you have to test it. So you take this blue, this green, teal sort of color, you thread it in until it hits the end, hold steady tension, and you tighten it on there, good and snug. Whenever it's good and snug, then you take your 3cc syringe from your numbing lidocaine, hook it up, and you pull back to 1 centimeter. 1 cc. You should not have a steady flow of CSF coming back on this syringe. This should be negative pressure space, because the epidural space is a potential space. There should not be any fluid in there apart from what you've injected from the loss test injection. So this should, whenever you draw this back a cc, there should be no free flow CSF coming back, which would be clear or straw color, and it should readily collapse. So whenever you draw back, there should be negative pressure, and it should collapse on you like this. Once that's in there, there's no blood, there's no CSF, and there's negative pressure. You feel that you're probably in the epidural space. Hook up your test dose. Then you inject your 3cc test dose into the patient. Make sure that they're good and comfortable, and that's coming out there. You see it coming out of there, that's fine. And then whenever you get done with that, disconnect that, you leave the filter on, and you take a 3cc syringe from your lidocaine.
You inject all 3 C's of the test dose.
All of it.
That's what I
yep.
thought.
And then you just protect this in and keep it sterile with this tip on here. Hand it up to the nurse, have them hold it, tape down the locket, secure the locket, put a large neoderm over top of the locket, secure it down, tape, and a square around it, leaving the opening of the locket to where it's visible, and then you tape a big strap up their back, and then you just disconnect this and you hook it up to the epidural catheter tubing that's already primed, and then start your infusion. That's all there is to it. Okay, that's it, buddy.
Sweet, thanks.